Welcome to our final town hall number 88 for the platformOS community. Big year, amazing year, challenging year, productive year, and we're looking forward to 2021, that's for sure. But we thought we would announce that after a little while, we are going to be launching our platformOS community site. And today, we're going to take you through a little bit of an overview. And we're also going to share with you instant messaging, which is also powered by the amazing platformOS core product, which our amazing team have been developing. And just to let you know that the community site will be a work in progress. It's going to be using our agile development principles that we've been applying. And we are also going to want your feedback. The whole code base is part of the incredible MVP template that our team has been working on for a number of months. And you've all probably had a little play with that template, which we have here on our site, the product marketplace template, which in a few clicks you can try, and you will have access to the source code, and that's all, of course, in our documentation site, not in our GoDaddy site, in our documentation site over in Get Started and the platformOS marketplace template. So what I'm showing you today is the launch of our community site, which will be incorporated in our MVP template so that you'll have product, community, and services next year. But we want to just highlight the functionality that's initially going to be released and encourage everybody to sign up to start initially using the Q&A, the questions and answers part of the community site. We'll be adding groups and slowly, iteratively adding more features and functionality based on the feedback from the community, and again, popping that into the open source code base that you'll also be able to contribute to. So without further ado, you can see that there's a little theme here. These themes will be added to the template as well. And then this is a mock-up of one of the themes. Not quite live yet, but you will see that that is released over the weeks ahead. And the user profiles, and very much taken from some of the user experiences in Stackoverflow. We wanted people to have a familiar way to pose questions and get answers, as well as then have groups that you can all participate in for getting answers to questions. So without further ado, let's go and take a look at the community site, which is over here in community.platformos.com. And here it is. We've already got our good friend JJ, aka Hooks. I have no idea why he calls himself Hooks. Maybe that's how he plays golf, and they're always hooks that he's, instead of, what's that other one? It starts with S, right? And swing, slice, that's right, slices and hooks. Well, here it is, platformOS community beta launch, version 0.1. And Colin, can you be my guinea pig to start to play around with this, and we can showcase a little bit of how it works? And of course, the purpose to be getting our Slack channel moved onto our own version of, well, we'll even have Slack functionality now that WebSocket support is there, and we will be able to SEO everything and have our support team, which is growing under the care of JJ, and be able to answer questions, and which will also feed back into our amazing documentation as well. So Colin, how does this all work? I'm glad you asked, Cole.
Yeah,
have you got a question that we can put
up
there?
I've got a burning question I've prepared earlier, of course. So
all right, good, mate. All right, well, you pop
that
that question up. And while you're doing that, we'll see that it's really easy for everybody in the community to start asking a question and putting in the specifics, which can be tagged. And then as you add the questions, you'll get answers. And those answers will be answered by our community and other community members. Oh, look, here we go. Does platformOS support high scores in Google Lighthouse? Great question, Colin. Well, probably the first thing we would want to verify, does platformOS itself practice what it preaches in terms of good Google Lighthouse scores? I hope it does. And we'll quickly run that against our live site. And then we'll get back to answering your question. One of the things you'll notice too is our incredible performance, accessibility, best practice in SEO is all there. So that's on our marketing site. What about our community site? Remember, this is beta, version 0.1. And when we run Lighthouse against our community site, we shall see what happens. Notice accessibility, background and foreground contrast ratios, quick and easy fix, and best practices, cross-link to destination, unsafe. That's a little quick fix as well. We will be at 100 out of 100 across all these metrics. And this was just version 0.1. So look out. Yes, Colin, we do support high scores in Google Lighthouse. Let me answer that. Thanks for asking. Here's the info you need to know. Now, what we'll be doing is cross-referencing, let's say SEO, creating SEO-friendly URLs, which also has a little bit of information on how you can achieve 100 out of 100, along with our best practices articles. And I'm going to just pop that in there for Colin. I love that we have these little fav icons that are specific now. I can quickly find documentation. I can find the community tab. I can find our marketing site. So much better. And let's also go ahead and upload an image here. I'll go and add that. Boom, nice. And post the answer. There it is. Nice. Well, of course, we're going to have our community involved in curating some of this. Maybe Adam Cook comes across this answer and he goes, yeah, nah, I've got a better answer. Or, in fact, it's the right answer and everybody can start voting. What you'll notice is, just like Stackoverflow, you can add a +1 to both a question, because we want to encourage good questions and discourage bad questions.
So I'm loving that answer. So I've given it a big tick there. Adam.
You have? You like that? All right. Well, I'll just look at that. We've got some votes. Adam Cook
awesome.
obviously also voted as well, which is why it's been added, upvoted a bit more. And so this functionality, similar to Stack Overflow, is there. We will be enhancing the UX around, color designations on the arrows so that you'll know, oh yes, I have already upvoted that, or no, look, I can even upvote my own response, maybe not. But what will happen is, if I'm going to toggle my response, and we'll look at that, see you can't vote for your own answers. Nice work, team. And what you can do is, when you do find a question where you like the answer, and you might have voted it up or down, the little arrows will tell you, all right, it's a -1 or it's a +1, or it will. Is there another question, actually? Because I can't upvote. Is there a response, an answer to another question in there, Colin? Maybe you could answer one of these questions in here, or check if you want to answer another question so I can upvote it and downvote it, and just explain the mechanics of what that will do to the score. Because when you go to solutions like Stack Overflow, and whoever wants to answer a question, I'll upvote and downvote it. Maybe Cole, if you find another question in here that you can respond to, or
I can take a stab at it.
Ping me in the chat. I can't see my chat panel, so it's
okay. Let me have a look.
I can't see it exactly. It was a new feature. I used to be able to upvote my own questions, responses, my own answers. That is no longer the case. So that's why I'm quickly asking somebody to go ahead and answer another question so I can show you how that works. Cole, which one are you going to answer?
I'm going to answer, how do I change the default domain?
Okay, perfect. Make that a quick answer. We can always delete it afterwards. As you notice, I've answered a question previously, and I can edit or delete that response.
Okay, that's been done.
All right, great. So Colin's also answered this you can do easily. So you'll notice that the plus or minus option, upvote or downvote, occurs. But now that I've upvoted that, I can clear it. So I can't come along and then downvote because I've already voted it up. So I'll clear that vote off, and it makes that score neutral again, as you can see. But I could downvote it. So the same mechanics that Stack Overflow uses in terms of encouraging people to upvote, downvote, but cancelling out a previous vote before you might downvote it. So it's a lot more intuitive than previously. You can also have a bit of a comment thread that exists against questions and also against answers as well for further clarity. As I said, all of this is going to be open sourced in our MVP template code base. So you'll be able to build this yourself. You'll also be able to make suggestions and contributions to this. So once we get to instant messaging, you'll see how cool that will be. In fact, let's do that. I'm going to see that Colin Frosty here is already there, and I'm following him, and I might like to send him a message. So let's go ahead and do that. And Colin, in fact, can you reply to this? Are you already in the chat spot, Cole? In readiness to reply to me?
Let me
If so, just check out my profile and start a conversation. Some of this discoverability around user profiles, being able to find a user, follow them, is going to be enhanced over the next little while. There's Colin. He just messaged me immediately. I just replied to him. And then what I'll also do on my mobile, I'm going to log into my mobile account, and you can see that the conversation is here. And I'm going to go and throw a bunch of emojis at him. There we go. So instant messaging. Let's just hit this button and see how it works. So I'm going to send that bunch of emojis. Did I press the button? I can't see. There we go, I did. Boom, instant from my phone to my message thread, and Colin loves it. So instant messaging, WebSocket support, good stuff. The crowd goes wild. I can hear the applause. Yeah, look at everybody just smiling and clapping and going, yay, we're going to start implementing that. Just a note on WebSocket support, it isn't enabled by default. And the reason for that is that we are not wanting to just open up the floodgates and have everybody start jumping in and potentially overloading a few things that we're working on in the background. So if you do have a valid project that you're wanting to enable that for, just let us know. We'll make that happen on an instance, because we would like to work with you when that happens and make sure that it's done best practice, but also to work together in making sure that we improve things as we roll it out. But instant messaging, awesome. Sky's the limit. Build your own version of Slack on top of platformOS. Integrate your own, like throw away that chat bot and have your own, all the data connected in one place, the all-in-one development platform. And so this is exciting as well. Just another point when it comes to the community site, yes, we can see my little activity feed and what I've been up to and doing. I can also see who I'm following all these amazing people. Please, right now, if you're on the community site, why don't you go ahead and register. So head over to community, platformOS. Let me put that in the chat, unless Colin has already beat me to it, because he's 3 steps ahead of me. And boom, there we go. Oh, hang on, that's a direct message, sorry. There we go. So head over there and sign up. And then I am going to follow you. So, or follow me. You'll see that my profile is Adam. Makes sense. And we are, as I said, going to make discoverability of users much better. So you will be able to search. Right now, I can search on topics like DNS, and I'll see all the DNS questions there, or maybe Google Lighthouse. Boom, I'll see that post that Colin put up and the responses. And the same will occur for the community members. Also groups. Groups will be turned on shortly. We really wanted to keep a laser focus on Q&A and then instant messaging to make sure that we got that in place first so that we can get out of Slack. And then other things like good SEO friendliness, as well as social sharing. So being able to be searchable on the search engines, be able to surface that, just like we're doing with, like liquid markup. If you search from liquid markup, of course, Shopify's GitHub will be there. But if you look, you'll see that platformOS is actually one of the first organic listings here. We're going to be doing the same with our Q&A community site, as you will be able to do for your clients as you build community sites for them in their industry, their sector, in their niches, using best practice, getting awesome results out of Google Lighthouse, and then the SEO capabilities that you'll leverage from platformOS, be able to crush competitors that are using different platforms to help your clients beat their competitors that aren't building on platformOS. So that's something that we're hoping you'll be able to take advantage of as well. Social sharing, as I was saying, if we go into, we're practicing what we preach is basically what we're doing. And so when we are talking about having good social sharing, open graph tags dynamically created, you'll see that in the code we're doing that, and when I'm sharing, it'll use all of the relevant title, description in the metadata for sharing. So that's another little thing that we wanted to just highlight. And what else? Yes, the designs and the themes that we'll be building out and applying to the community site. You'll be able to see those and use them if you want, or use your own front-end frameworks. We've deliberately built the template for product marketplace, community marketplace, and eventually services. That will be done in a way that you'll be able to apply your own front-end frameworks if you wish. So go ahead and do that. What else? What else? We've got the, where are we? Community site. I think I've moved off from the correct. There we go. There we are. This is the right one. That's the long and the short of it. It's a pretty quick town hall as far as giving this demo, because it's straightforward and uncomplicated. I'm going to go to my profile and see if anybody's following me that I haven't followed back yet. Oh, Pavel. Fantastic. I'll follow Pavel. Everybody, Clark updated his profile pic just as well. And if anybody else has set up their account, I don't see Adam Cook or Scott or Alexandra or anyone else in there yet, but please go ahead and follow me so I can follow you back. Remember MySpace? Who was that guy in MySpace that everybody automatically just followed? What was that guy's name again? Come on, you're not that old. Or you are that old, actually. You should be able to remember MySpace. There he is, Tom. Was it Tom? Tom, of course. Tom Anderson, MySpace Tom. It's kind of like that right now for the platformOS community. Get in first, get your name registered, because in about 6 to 12 months, there's going to be so many people on here, you'll be able to say, I was one of the first. I'm not saying I'm Tom, by the way. It's probably more likely Maciek or Derek or Piotr or Pavel or Kat and Diana and Damien and Colin and all the other rest of the team who are the actual people that make this happen. Lukash, who worked burning the midnight oil tonight, getting stuff happening. Thank you to the entire team. They're the ones you really want to follow, but still get in, register, and then here we go. Daryl, thank you. Adam Cook, perfect. And you will be famous soon. because you were on at the first. And I'm going to open up to questions now. Any questions that I can answer right now? In fact, actually, we should have the questions being thrown in here. You can always delete them later if you feel that they're trivial, but what questions come to mind related to our Tom? There you go. Scott gave me the answer. Any questions, comments? I know Daryl's excited about WebSocket support. Tell by the smile on his face.
I've got a question.
Yes.
Yeah, so the instant messaging feature that you showed off, does that use models? And if not, how does it affect the database items?
Very good question. We're actually using, I think, a Redis store. It's like activity feeds where we need that to be super, super fast and cached in memory. But yes, everything will be persistent as well. So it's going into the database. As far as using models, Maciek, are you there? So from a performance perspective, it needs to be accessible in memory for activity feed to work at speed. Maciek might have gone to sleep.
No, I can you hear me?
There? Oh, yes, great. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, so pretty much you can decide what should happen. So obviously for messages, you want to persist them in the database as well, but it's up to you. So you have flexibility in terms of determining what should happen when the message. Oh, sorry. I stopped. I'm on my phone and I'm not used to talking phone. I was saying that you have full flexibility in terms of determining what should happen on server side when the message comes.
Okay, sounds good.
Great. So that was the technical answer. Any other questions that have come to mind there? JJ is going to be all over this because he'll be answering so many questions. Pavel. I'm loving this instant messaging thing. I'm just very excited by it, as you can tell. But I'm also very excited that we're going to have lots of, oh, where is this new community site we were from? That's a great question. I've got to, that just gets an upvote just out of the audacity of the question. And let's go and see if there are any other questions in my chat thing. Any more questions coming through? Anybody use Stack Overflow, by the way, to ask or answer questions? Adam Cook, good. So those who are also raising their hand but have your cameras turned off, of which I can see there's quite a few, we'd love to get your feedback in context to that, because we do want to not reinvent the wheel necessarily. And if you feel that it's a user experience that makes sense, or you think of some other ways that the user experience can be enhanced, please let us know. We'll take that feedback in. We're going to have groups, as I said, launched very soon, similarly to the way we have groups in the products like DevMesh, Intel's community, developer community that is powered by platformOS and other similar functionality. We're going to be putting in video profiles. So very soon when I go into my profile and I want to edit that, not just have a photo, but have video. It's always nice to see and hear somebody's profile if they have a little video profile. Video chat as well, being able to have a group where maybe you want to connect somebody and chat with them over the video. Thanks, Daniel, for building that module for us. And there's so many more things that will be added to this. And again, you'll be able to leverage in your own projects. Any more thoughts, feedback? I'll save that profile. And look at that. I have a new profile pic. I might change that every other week just for the fun of it. Boom. And you will be, sorry?
I think this is amazing. I'm really happy about it.
Thanks, mate. Well, we've taken feedback. It's been a little bit of the plumber with the dripping tap for a little while. You know what it's like. You focus on other things. You've got different priorities. One of the big priorities that we had to get right was a lot of DevOps stuff in the background. Huge shout out to our massive DevOps team, Derek and Piotr and Maciek. And the effort that goes into that is unseen. I keep saying that almost every other town hall. Getting that right to be cross infrastructure compatible is a big task. And then being able to make sure that we can then scale that automatically as we add new stacks and take advantage of other infrastructure providers means that we have to get that right. And then push out the code so that you know that when you develop it and you deploy to a Google Cloud instance or an AWS instance or an Azure instance, it just works. So that's all been happening in the background as well. Then there's the UX that happens over the top. And without that, it's not quite the same, right? You have a beautiful cake in front of you and you know that all the ingredients are there and it probably tastes okay, but the cake on the other side with the icing on the top and the sprinkles is even more appetizing. And our UX team, Carter and Jenge and Monica and Lukash, who's then implementing that into the template, are doing a fantastic job. So there's a big team effort to make this happen. And we've also then got other, as I said, priorities. So we're very glad to get this out. And now that it's hit the live environment and people are registering, we'll be watching the feedback and continuing to enhance. Any other questions, thoughts, feedback? Any more questions that have popped up? Any more users that I need to follow? Not yet, soon. Don't be shy. All right, well, it is a perfect way to end the year. And we're glad that we did hit this milestone in 2020. We made it. We did it in 2020. We've done a lot this year. In fact, I know you've all noticed that a lot of change has happened to the platform in terms of new features, being able to make the developer onboarding experience a little more intuitive. I know there's been some back and forth around model schema versus tables. And I'd put my foot down on that because I'm a database guy. Yes, I know models, tables are analogous, but when you look at YAML files, the YAML files are your schema. The individual YAML files are your tables with properties and your records go into those. And so I was like, you know, coming from a database background, it just makes sense. Also the schema folder where all the YAML files go, of course, new things can be put in there like views, indexes, relationships. Maybe there's some schemas that don't directly translate to a database table. They might connect over the top of other disparate APIs. Who knows? It's very exciting what's happening in that direction so that we can try and surface everything through GraphQL to give you massive power and flexibility across the board. So those changes, I think, just make sense for the developer experience of new people joining the platform and bringing on developers. But I've really loved watching the threads. Daryl, Adam, Piotr, others in those threads that are giving feedback. Keep it coming. And of course, you know, it's at the end of the day, I'll just veto whatever I want, but no, I'm kidding. I don't. Only in that case, Thoughts, feedback? Clark, have you got any words? I'm going to put you on the spot because you've been across some of the things going in the background with the team, and maybe even Maciek wants to throw out a few words because it really has been a big effort.
One, Adam, I just added a new question to the platformOS community site for everyone to look at. I think for us, you know, I think everyone in this room understands this. We always look and do our own internal stuff last. And, you know, obviously we've been saying we build this community site for a while, and it's you know, we always, the trade-off is, do we answer a support request or a new feature from a channel partner, or do we work on our own internal stuff? And generally 99% of the time, it's always, you know, let's fix what our channel partners need. So we've been pushing this back. for us as well, it's really been about, hey, let's not try and build everything at once. Let's just build and get something right and just have it up there so that people can start using it. And then we'll keep adding and adding and adding and iterate. So for us, it's very much about feedback from the community. You know, please tell us on our community site exactly what you want next. If you want groups, if you want, you know, following and activity feeds, whatever it is, tell us and we will get our team to prioritize that. Otherwise, you know, we'll just be sitting there working on our own thing, which might not be exactly what you want. And so for us, it's all about feedback. Please tell us, not just in regards to the community side, but also with the template, if there's certain things, we want to start using this community site to get direct user feedback from our channel partners to build and upgrade our core platform, our community site, our templates, any features that you need directly, and so that we can work on. So once again, you know, thank you to the whole team for building this together. A lot of them have been working additional hours on top of everything that they have been doing just to deliver this. And as Adam said, you know, challenging has been a unique way of describing what 2020 has been like. And we're just glad to be able to get this up. And we're definitely going to continue to work and upgrade the features so that you guys can keep adding to it.
Thanks, Clark. Yeah, that's excellent. Great question too. So start answering what you think, and then get your, you know, compatriots to upvote those features. I can see Adam with 50 sock puppet accounts right now. We're checking your IP address, Adam. I'm gonna check any words. I know he's been behind a lot of these technical things going on, and although he is on a mobile phone at the moment, he might just be able to unmute himself.
Well, I just wanted to thank our community. That we have a community for which we can actually build this site, because without a community it wouldn't make sense to build such sites. So thank you very much, guys, for being active, being vocal, providing feedback and suggestions. We really appreciate it. And of course, thanks to the team who just managed to do this for us until the end of the year. And thanks, Adam, for leading us to success. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Maciek. Yeah, it's been a great 2020. It really has for us. It's been tough, and for a lot of people, it's been tragic. We have to count our blessings and say that in spite of everything, we've continued to grow. Our community's growing, and 2021 is going to be an amazing year. We're seeing vaccines and other things come out, so that's all good. People feeling a sense of confidence around that. And great question, Alexandra. You totally can. So this is something that you will be able to use, and the example link that I've put here links back to our documentation, and this site will be updated with this community functionality. And as you'll see on the getmarketplace.co, which is our little real-time example site, you'll see that this is a product marketplace with groups. None created here just yet, but questions, look at that. It's all part of the open source code. So the answer is yes, Alexandra. And certainly feel free to chat to us or Colin or one of the team about any details around those builds. What we will be doing in our iterations for a community site, of course, having our channel partners and company profiles, people being able to search and find channel partners. And then, of course, with the services marketplace component, being able to connect with channel partners, because end customers will be looking for experts on platformOS to build and deliver incredible projects. So over time, this will become a community, not just for developers, but we'll be linking developers to those who are asking for experts, which is exactly what's happened with Stackoverflow. And then, of course, Stack Exchange, which is a Q&A for any type of question, much like Quora. But Stackoverflow has begun to surface some companies and individual developers who are making really good money out of the credibility that they've established in the answers that they give and contribution that they make to those community portals. And we expect the same to happen within platformOS. So if there are no, oh, there's some questions here, I think. Let's just check the chat. Excellent. Drinking our own champagne, Daryl. And Adam Cook, we appreciate you too, Adam. And as Maciek and Clark both said, the community itself has gotten us to where we are now. And there's only bigger and better things to come.
Hey, Adam, I got a question.
Yeah.
What about general visibility of the platformOS community site, like for people outside the community? Will they be able to see the questions and find them?
Yep, that's all public. You won't. We're not hiding those. That Q&A right now is public. What we expect though with groups will be like a little umbrella around a specific thread, more like a forum functionality. So Q&A is like Stackoverflow, and it's question answers, upvoting, downvoting. We will then expect with the groups to be more forum-like and threaded conversations, which is more like, is it Stack Exchange that does that? Pavel's probably the best to answer because he's gone in depth in a lot of those user experiences. Stack Overflow, Q&A, Stack Exchange, much more forum-like. And then what we'll be doing with those groups is defining whether or not they're public, private moderated, and secret. Because there's certain conversations that we will want to have in private, much like our inner circle Slack channel, which will move into our own platform community site, but that will be an area which you need to be a channel partner to access. Much like the core channel where there's a handful of people involved. Private groups will enable us to have the same type of user experience, but on our platform. And you'll be able to build the same for your clients. As Alexandra asked, yeah, you'll be able to take this and do likewise. Any more questions coming through? Oh, discourse. Yeah, that's what I meant. Thanks, Maciek. So Stack Overflow, Q&A, discourse, more like threaded forums. But you could build either. You could build both on platformOS. So it's really how the user experience matters for that particular workflow. Group chat, threaded conversations in forum-like interaction versus Q&A like Stack Overflow. All right. In fact, the gentleman who created Stack Overflow and has both types of user experiences, the forum threads as well as Q&A, it's the same developer. He's got an excellent YouTube video out there, which we should share actually, because it's very relevant for our community site. And maybe for those clients that you're working with that need to own their own communities again and not rely on Facebook groups who we know are evil and own all the data. And you might as well have your customers building their own community of practice with full control over the user experience and the data. We're just a hosting environment with some cool stuff on the top, and Facebook and other types of solutions are not. They are definitely leveraging that data for not great purposes. Will I be able to add political ads to the community site? You certainly can, except what happens is we have an AI bot behind the scenes, which automatically gets rid of the political ads that don't agree with my political sentiment, because we're trying to create an echo chamber. I'm just kidding. No, there is actually Clark's done a great job putting together our community guidelines. And I think when you register, you'll be able to sign off on those community guidelines. If they're not live now, they will be soon. So sign up now and then we'll add the community guidelines and then we'll say, Adam, we said no political ads, all right? But I didn't read them. I didn't see them. But we won't probably encourage that. Yeah, clients owning their own data, full stop, is massive, especially in forums and community sites too. I agree, Alexandra. Then linking that to the other functionality. We'll soon have, is Scott still in the room? Is he? No. He came and went. I was going to give him a plug for his learning management system that he's building on platformOS. Add the Scott LMS system as an onboarding part of our community site. Okay, well, I think I'd like to close it off here then. If there's no more questions, I will share the screen again. We'll head over. Yes?
One more thing worth showing is that in our community code, there is no single line of code in the backend. I mean, which is for business rules, which is not already part of the template, which means that all work we've done for community is just styling the existing template. Like everything is already written. It's just about style. So you can already take this code and use it for your own project. That's the main purpose behind the template. And whenever we add new features to community, we first add it to the template. Whenever there is a bug in the community, we first fix it in the template, and then we just update our community site. So that's the workflow we have in mind, because we plan to have multiple projects based on this template, and we expect our partners to do the same.
And here it is. So feel free to grab it. I'd like to give a shout out to the team who's made commits so far. We've got them listed here, as you can see. Derek, Piotr, and Pavel, and Lukasz, and Kalman, our CTO, Maciek, Damien, Ignacy, Diana on documentation. And there is others involved, of course, that are doing UX, UI, Kata, Jenj, who are going to be putting the icing on the cake, so to speak. So big shout out to the team. Couldn't have done it without you. And again, shout out to the community who's helping us to take this to the next level. So this has been the official release. Thank you all for being part of it. I don't have champagne this week. As I said earlier, I've used all that up on SiteGlide's G2 #1 ranking town hall last week. But I do want to finish up with a little thank you and Merry Christmas. Have a great, safe Hanukkah, Christmas, holiday season to everybody. We do have a big 2021 in store. There's going to be some big announcements in possibly the first few weeks of January, all things panning out, which will be very exciting for everybody to learn about. It's been 3 or 4 months in the making so far. I'll leave you all in suspense about that, but it's an amazing 2021 ahead. Take a breath, spend some time with your friends and family over Zoom or in person as you see fit. Hopefully you're going to be able to have a great retrospective yourselves and look back on what you have achieved, and just surviving 2020 is an achievement. And I think we all can agree that 2021 looks like it's going to be a pretty good improvement on this year. And we hope that the community site will be a start to that as well for our own platformOS community. So I will leave you at that and bid you farewell. Thanks again for all of your support. And we look forward to seeing you in our community site and instant messaging each other there very soon. Okay. Bye for now.